Hi guys, now this is my Arsenal season review of 2018 and 2019. Um, so let's just get straight into it before I give my verdict on the season. It was a tough start to the season. We had to play Man City at home, then Chelsea away, especially when we have a new manager, a new way of thinking, new ideas, new tactics. Um, so obviously Man City, the dominant force that they are, that didn't expect us to win that game, to be honest. So you can be forgiven not winning that one. Chelsea, um, we should have won that one. We should have won that one. We had opportunities. We should have won that. But after that, after a tough start, we then went on a 22 game unbeaten run, starting with, I believe it was West Ham at home. And everyone started going on, yeah, well, you're not playing big teams and stuff like that, right? Which I just thought was utter bollocks. The fact that Emery has been able to get us this many games unbeaten with this squad, which was the same as last season, that was struggling to win away, is pretty good going. So it looked then confident. I just felt confident that we could do top four this year. Um, we then beat Spurs at the Emirates, which was a great relief for me personally because a couple of days before I lost my father, who was an epic Arsenal fan. So that Sunday was like the end of the week. Oh God, I've just watched Hamilton win the title. Please sum it up for me. Like win this game, please win this game. And then we went to Man United away. Now Man United away was sort of a pivotal point in terms of how we'd end up. We had very key injuries to, I believe, Bellerin and Holding, especially Holding, who was one of the stars of the season until he got injured. And those key injuries in defence meant we struggled after that draw at Man U, and eventually we lost to Southampton. And throughout the Christmas period, we were struggling. Got smashed by Liverpool away, 5-1, and we're looking at, oh great, here we go again. This team's just not good enough. It's the same team. It's no matter what Emery's doing, it's just not good enough. And maybe we should look at the Europa League, which we're still progressed in. Um, and at some point after the Christmas period, we ended up about 8 points off the top four. So we're like, yeah, we're going to have to look at Europa League. We're going to have to win that. So, but due to it sort of turned into a season where no one wanted top four for some reason, everyone started slipping up. Tottenham started slipping up after thinking they were good title contenders. They started slipping up. Chelsea slipped up. Man United have had them troubles with Mourinho, and we started to gain our ground back on them. So it looked, well, maybe we can. You never know. And not just top four was available, top three was available. So especially after we drew, though we should have beaten Spurs, last minute penalty missed by Aubameyang. And yes, people now go back and say yes, if he scored that penalty, we would have finished top four. But at the time, you you can't just go back and say, well, yeah, that moment, because you can then go back and say, yeah, we should have beat Crystal Palace at home, right? We should have beat Southampton away. So any sort of moment in the season, we should have won. We should have beaten Chelsea at home at the start of the season. That would have been enough. So during all this, we've been progressing through, making it hard for ourselves, like Batty Borisov away losing, and then we winning it at home. Rennes again away losing, and then winning it again back at home. So not making it easier for ourselves in the Europa League, Champions League. I wish, but the Europa League. But we progressed, and then we withdrew Napoli, and then everyone thought, most of the fan base were like, oh shit, oh shit, worst draw we could possibly have. One of the favourites that have been knocked out of the Champions League, same as Valencia have been, and we had to then go and beat Napoli after then losing to Bate Borisov away and losing to Rennes away. Right. So yeah, but in the Premier League, our away form in the Premier League was really our undoing. Again, over the turn of the year, we struggled to win any game away. We're sometimes tactically naive, playing the wrong players, just setting up, put the squads all wrong. At times, you had to question the manager, like, why are you picking these players? Such as Everton at away, we played El Neni, right? El Neni and I believe it was El Neni and Xhaka, but even then, El Neni was just not good enough to start. And it then proved in the end to be our undoing. So we then ended up in a situation where we had to just win no matter what. And we came to Crystal Palace at home. Again, we played a tactically naive team. Whether it was because we were trying to rest players for the Europa League, I don't know. But we lost to Crystal Palace, and that was it. Right. In the end, what we didn't realise is that if we then beat Brighton afterwards at home, we would have been uh, in the top four. But then you could have said about Wolves away just before Brighton at home, where I went to the away screen at the Emirates and we would just sit there. The only fun part of that was I got to see Ray Parlour. That was the only thing I enjoyed out of that game. But yeah, and this is all the while we've been able to perform away to Napoli, right, winning 1-0, which then put us through. Right, I didn't see that game, though I went to Napoli and was in the stadium for about 5 minutes before the kickoff. I ended up in myself hospitalised, ill through dehydration and struggling to get home. So yeah, so we've been able to progress away in the Europa League, but we can't do it in the Premier League. We then had to face, in terms of Europa League, we then had to play in a semi-final Valencia, who were sort of the next Champions League. So we didn't have it an easy draw, but we managed to easily brush Valencia like they weren't like challengeable, which then put us in the final. And then obviously Chelsea get through on penalties. So it would be Arsenal, Chelsea in the Europa League final. In the end, we didn't get top four due to our errors, and we had to rely on Europa League to get us into Champions League. And we thought we were so confident. We were so confident, especially when we beat Chelsea at the Emirates at home quite comfortably. I felt very confident that we could do it, especially since Chelsea have already qualified in the Champions League. What I saw was probably one of the worst performances I've seen under Emery ever. I was so angry, and I couldn't even tell. That's only probably a part of how all the thousands of fans uh, that had travelled some people 97 hours in a car, £3,000 to get over to Baku, some that would have to stay in there for the next week, right, to go and watch them. And I was just, why? Why couldn't you do it for that game? You did it before. Why couldn't you do it? It just blew me away. It just blew me away how poor we were. First, we had 30 minutes in that game, and that was it. I mean, the rest of it was just shit, utter shit. I'm not going to get into that because I'll just rant all day. So, but yeah, in the end, we didn't get what we wanted. What we did get is clear signs of what needs to be improved and who needs to go, who's not good enough, and who we need to bring in. It's going to be even more difficult now that we don't have Champions League football to attract them. So, but next season is going to be where we judge Emery, especially if he gets the funds he needs. If he doesn't get the money he needs, and this is a message to Dan Kroenke, by the way, don't give him the fucking money and back him like you're supposed to, right? Then we are not going to blame the manager. It's down to you. It's down to you. End of story. So hopefully they will back him. But we'll get into player ratings now for this season. And so, and people who ended up injured at the end of the season, I'm going to rate their performance to the point they were injured. So we'll start with Petr Cech, and I'd give him a 7. Didn't really do much wrong. Did prove that his distribution was poor compared to Bert Leno, so he was made cup goalkeeper after his injury at Watford, and didn't really put a foot wrong, really. We got to a final. He was one of the shining lights in stopping Chelsea, making it 6, 7, 8, 9-0 in the Europa League final. So can't have any complaints with him. And and hope he succeeds in what he does at Chelsea, because he's just been a decent servant to Arsenal for the last 2-3 seasons. But Leno 8, standout goalkeeper, and he could be one of our best goalkeepers that we've had in a long time, since the likes of David Seaman. I'm not putting him in that bracket. I'm not comparing him to him at the minute, but he could be. He's had a really good season, I feel. Made some fundamental saves in key moments, and I give him an 8. Hector Bellerin, an 8, one of the most improved players under Emery, until the point he got injured, and then he came back and was just as good, and then got injured again against Chelsea as soon as he was back. But never thought I'd say we missed Bellerin after his performances in previous seasons, because we did miss him, because that right hand side when he was gone was such a weak point, and we had to improvise. So 8 for him. He's been absolutely brilliant. Laurent Koscielny, 6. He's had okay, good spells, good start, could come back, decent, but not exemplary. And I feel it's time he needs to move on. He's getting old now, and we need to start investing in new talent in the defence, because the defence is our main issue. Our defenders are either too old or just not good enough. Simple as that. He's been a decent servant to the club, but people saying he's been a decent servant and he's been as good of a captain as Tony Adams, well, you've clearly not watched fucking Arsenal clear enough, have you? Don't ever compare Koscielny to Adams. That's an insult to Tony Adams, and it's an insult to Patrick Vieira if you compare it to him. They've done 10 times more than Koscielny's ever done for Arsenal, so don't ever compare him. So yeah, he's one of my players. He needs to go. Holding an 8. He's been, until he got injured against Man United, he was absolutely brilliant. He was the one who carried the ball up for us and get us from playing from the back and moving. And I hope he comes back soon and continues that under Emery, because he was thrown really under the bus as an introduction, and it sort of knocked his confidence a bit. But it seems that with Emery, his confidence has gone sky high, and I hope that the injury makes him a stronger player than he is at the minute. So 8 for him. Carl Jenkinson, 4. He's just not good enough. I'm sorry, he's just not good enough. He might be good as a fan, but he's just not good enough. I'm sorry. So he needs to just get off the wage bill. So 4 for him. Socrates, 7. He's had a really good season. He's had some dodgy moments at times. It's probably not why I'm giving him any higher. But he's been, if he has someone else that is just as good or better than him, he can be an instrumental player in the Arsenal defence. But he needs like support, right? But we have seen at times when we've not had him in defence how disorganised the defence is. So 7 for him. Mavropanos has had spells, but not many games. So I can only give him a standard 5. He looks decent, and sometimes I've asked, rather than say Mustafi, I'd rather him in the defence. Just because I can't stand the amount of mistakes Mustafi makes. And I don't feel Mavropanos makes as many mistakes as Mustafi. But you don't know until you try. So I'm hoping that next season he gets more game time. Mustafi, this is just being generous, the 3. That's just being generous. I am fed up with him. He's done nothing but make mistakes since he's turned up back in 2016-17. Absolutely useless. Right? He is one player that I would pack his bags and send him off home. Right? I'd drive him to the airport. I literally would. I just can't stand him anymore. Right? He's not good enough. He calls himself a World Cup winner. Well, I'm sorry, that German defence must have won the World Cup for him. I'm sorry. Simple as that. Maitland-Niles, and this is in perspective, I think Maitland-Niles has had a better season than him. There you go. I'll give him a 6. He's had dodgy moments in that defence, but he's been playing most games out of position, and he has been a very good makeshift right back, despite him not being in that natural position that he wants to be in. So he's done a decent job at times. So like Rennes at home, Man United away at home. So yeah, I'll give him a 6, and hopefully he can get better next season. Kolasinac, a 5. Great going forward, absolutely terrible defending. He seems to forget that he needs to defend as well. And sometimes when he gets forward, when you want him to put a ball in that's perfect, it'll end up in row Z, or it'll end up with the first defender. So again, he's another guy who needs to go. Just not good enough. Lichtsteiner, I don't even know why he's signed. I know it's for a 3, but I don't know why we signed him. I really don't. I never saw any improvement in the defence within in there at all. Not at all. So maybe just to probably encourage Bellerin to be a better player. Maybe. But then we should have employed him as a coach. So I'm glad he's going. Right. I'll take the gap in the defence for him because that's how it's been. And 4 is just being generous again. Monreal 5. And he's getting on. He's a decent defender at times in the left back position, not very good going forward. And the way we play 3 at the back. He's not a centre back. He can't play in a bit back 3, and he can't play as a wing back. So he doesn't go forward. So for the future, I just don't think he's the right type of defender we need. Torreira, an 8. He's been one of the stars, one of the main transfer targets that we've bought that has been absolutely brilliant during the season, and he's had games where he's been tired because he's trying to get used to the Premier League, because in Europe you get a winter break, here you don't, but he's been absolutely brilliant, and I can't really have many complaints with him. So an 8 for him, and he's just been one of the bargains of the season. It's what I said in the 90 FTV video. Bargain of the century. Absolutely. For how much we paid for him, we should have paid more. So that was good business by Arsenal. Just makes a change. Xhaka, a 6. He's been a good at times, usually when he's got Torreira holding his hand. But yes, nah, he needs to move on. I don't care if he says he's staying. Force him out. Don't care. Right, terminate the contract, pay whatever. I don't care. Just yeah, again, he's like Mustafi. He just makes silly mistakes. And if we want to be at the level we want to be, which is winning a title, do you see Man City making mistakes? Do you see Liverpool making mistakes at key moments? No. So we need better players. We need a better squad, and he's just not good enough to win a Premier League. I'm sorry. El Neni a free. Don't know why he's making up numbers. He's just burning a hole in the wallet of the wage budget. That's all he's doing. I can't believe we're paying him out. We're paying him. So yeah, he's good for if you want to see a game out, but he's not good for starting. So a free, being generous. Ramsey a 9. We've all known that he's been going all season and he's been offered a 400 grand a week contract. It's one of the scandals of the fact we've not been selling him for about 50 million quid. But how professional he's been and putting in performances like he has done to try and help the squad, Arsenal get to the top 4 or try and win the Europa League, which he wasn't there for at the end because he was injured, has been absolutely brilliant. And I hope he succeeds at Juventus because he deserves every success. Absolutely brilliant. So 9, my player is off, my player of the season, and can't believe that we're letting him go for nothing. But I just still can't believe it. Previous regime. Iwobi 7. A lot of people criticise Iwobi for every bloody ball he does, but some of the times when we've just not been looking threatening at all, he's the only one that's trying to make something, trying to create something down the left wing. And if people can't see that, then they have an agenda. So yes, he's not been brilliant, and I don't expect him to be brilliant, but I think he needs someone who's an absolute star as a winger in the squad to teach him how to be the best winger possible. So yeah, a 7 for him. Mkhitaryan a 5. He's had good games, bad games, but he's again another player that we need to move on. I think we did get the better of the deal between Sanchez and Mkhitaryan swapping, but I just don't think he's good enough to be in the club anymore. So a 5 and go. This is being generous. Mesut Ozil. Mesut fucking Ozil. I was going to say 5, but 4. And I'm being generous. Very generous. Anyone who's got an Ozil supporter, slate me all you want. Couldn't give a shit. This player, especially what he did in the Europa League final, is a fucking joke. 350 grand a week, and he doesn't give a shit. All he cares about is what he's getting paid. That's all he's shown. That's what he's shown at the Europa League final. He only cares about that. Doesn't care about the success of the club. Unlike Torreira, who's running off crying, right? Trying to run off and try and make us better and trying to win us a game. He's just strolling off like we're already winning. Or he's already won. Yeah, he's won. He's winning his wages at the end of the week. Right? Who came up with giving him a 350 grand contract? Whoever did that, you're a fucking idiot. I think that would be Gazidis. That or Wenger. Fucking idiot. Now we're stuck with this prick. The dude, seriously, he can go. Go. Get lost. I'll pack your bags for you, right? I'll put you on a train. I'll pay for your flight. Get out of my club. I don't care if we don't make a penny on him. Get him out any which way, because I am fed up with him just acting like he just doesn't give a shit. End of story. He's not good enough. He is not good enough. World Cup winner. I never heard you fucking mention when Germany won the World Cup. So how could he win a World Cup, right? When he's supposed to be, if you're supposed to be the talisman, right? And you don't fucking turn up in a big game. Where was he? Where's he been? When has he turned up at a big game? Someone let me know, please. Because I don't see it at all. So like I said, go. I don't care if we make a loss. Fuck if we lose 42 million on him. Don't care. Right? So 4, and that's being fucking generous to him. Guendouzi, 7. That's a fucking difference. 2 players that are in the midfield, right? 7 for Guendouzi, 4 for Özil. What does that tell you? And Guendouzi's from 19 and come from Liga 2 in France. What does that tell you? Right? Ramsey, he's fucking leaving, and yet he gets a 9, and yet I'm giving him a 9, and Mesut Ozil's got a 4. Everyone's saying how good Ramsey's playing and how fucking it's a scandal that we're getting rid of him, right? And we're all saying Ramsey playing 10 times better than Ozil, and Ozil's the one that's staying. Work that one out. Suarez, I don't know, because he's not. I don't know what. If we're not playing him, why have we loaned him? Please. And we've got an option to buy. Well, I don't know, because we haven't bought him. So I don't know what to say, whether to buy him, keep him, or sell him. Or give him back. I don't know. So 5. If he does stay till next season, I hope he has a good season. Welbeck, 7. Yeah, he was absolutely brilliant until he got injured. He was absolutely brilliant. And it was a shame he did get injured. Because it left us a bit lacking in the wing, on the wing. He was doing he was absolutely tremendous on the wing, playing absolutely brilliantly until he got injured, and it was a shame he did, because that could have been his last performance for Arsenal. But I'm in 2 minds, obviously, because of the way he was performing then, whether to keep him or not. I still ain't made my mind up. Aubameyang, 8. People saying Aubameyang should be sold because he missed the penalty. How many goals he got this season? 31, isn't it? We've all been moaning we want a goal scorer that scores more than 20 goals. He scores 20. He scores what, 22 in the Premier League, and matches Mane Salah. But he gets golden boot, and yet we've all been moaning we ain't got a good enough striker. What world are these people on when they come out of comments like, "Oh, we missed a penalty, we should get rid of him"? What world do they live on? Seriously. So yeah, I've got no complaints with him. He's done wonders to try and get us where in a fight with the top for all the goals he scored. So yeah, hope for more of the same next year. Lacazette, I give him an 8, same as Aubameyang. They've both been as good as each other. Maybe Lacazette a tiny bit better in terms of holding the ball up and bringing people into play, but they've just been equally as good altogether. And I'm hoping for even bigger things between the 2 of them next season, and even more, make us even more deadly than we are. Hopefully, with also the new additions we get, hopefully should be getting and buying. Apparently news that we're trying to get Carrasco, trying to get Umiti, Upamecano, but obviously those people say, yeah, we're in for him, and then it doesn't turn out to be anything. If it is true, apparently that Wan-Bissaka is going to United for 70 million, then we're making a big bloody mistake, because we need I say we need to buy Wan-Bissaka outright in the story. So yeah, that's transfer stuff, and I just don't do transfer stuff because there's loads of rubbish that comes out about anything, and it's all there just to spark a reaction. So yeah, in the end, this is my season review. Sorry, it's taken half an hour, and because there had a lot to get through. Leave a like, comment, subscribe. If you agree or disagree on anything, let me know. Yeah, and I'll speak to you guys, and hopefully we'll have a better next season, and get us more towards where we want to be. So yeah, see you next season.